What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I've got a big video for you today. Basically, there was this tweet a while back from one of the developers that said they had nerfed the Warzone specific damage range of the kilo or something along those lines. I'll put the tweet on the screen so you can see it. But to be completely honest, I had always been suspicious that there would be Warzone specific damage profiles outside of Warzone, but it was just basically impossible to test before private lobbies. It wasn't impossible, but it would have been really, really difficult. So I never checked, and no one else ever checked either. So all content creators have been assuming that Warzone had the same damage profiles as multiplayer. So we've been basing everything off that forever. But turns out that's not the case, and a lot of guns actually have Warzone specific damage profiles. So the video you see playing in the background right now is from my live stream the other day. I organized a huge community test of the damage profile for every single weapon in the game in Warzone. So we tested in Warzone, and it led to some really, really interesting findings. So I'm going to show you all the Warzone specific damage profiles for every gun that had a specific damage profile only for Warzone. And it's going to change the game, to be completely honest. It's going to change the meta. It's going to change, well, once the DMR 14 gets nerfed, this video is going to help define the meta for sure. All the new values will be up on the website very soon, but for now, just the video is going to be covering it, but definitely we'll have them on the website very soon. Just working on some updates for that right now. But yeah, I'll jump into it now and show you all of the information. One more thing I want to mention real quick before we jump into it. I just want to thank everybody that participated in this community test. It was awesome. It was an awesome experience. It was fun to organize, fun to participate in, and I mean, I was just laughing the whole time because I was having such a good time with it. Another thing I actually did, so we got the damage profiles from this private lobby, and then I actually did go in and verify all of the weird results just to make sure that there was not something strange going on. So I worked with I Am Gamer Girl, the front-end developer of 2Game Data, and we went in plunder matches and verified all the strange damage profiles that were found. So everything I'm going to show you in this video is confirmed to be true in Warzone today. So it's going to be pretty eye-opening. We'll jump into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to go over is all the weapons that are not changing, that didn't have a Warzone-specific damage profile. So in the AR category, Kilo does not have a specific Warzone profile. FR556 does. Odin does not have a specific profile. M13 is the same. Scar is the same. AK-47 is the same. AS Val is the same. So those are the only ones that are the same. Then we have all these different Warzone profiles on the website now, and this will be cleaner when I actually launch it, but for now this was just set up this way to make the video. As far as LMGs go, the only two that were different were the Holger 26, the Bruin Mark 9, and the M91. I guess that's 3, not 2. But yeah, those 3 were different in Warzone. SMGs, I believe every SMG was different. And I don't have all the data for the SMGs. I haven't done the 5.56 conversion for the AUG. I haven't done the damage conversions for the ammunition conversions for like the M4 and things. This is just base guns, but we'll be getting that stuff very, very soon. Alright, so for each comparison, I'm going to have the Kilo 141 on the chart just for comparison's sake for TTK. So we're going to have it set to 250 health and chest shots. So the first gun we're going to look at is the AN94. And if you look at this chart, the pink line is the original AN94 that you get in multiplayer. The blue line is the AN94 from Warzone. So it follows the exact same damage profile. It just doesn't have the other drop-offs. So the AN94 is actually pretty decent in Warzone. We all thought it was terrible because we were all using the multiplayer damage profile to look at TTKs. But it turns out that it actually only has one drop-off in Warzone and has a very good TTK because of that. And keep in mind the Kilo, the orange line here, this is the Warzone damage profile for it. It's the same as multiplayer. So look how much faster the AN94 kills out at range. I mean, it's also a very accurate gun, so it's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. Alright, so next up is the FAL. So the FAL, again, kind of like the AN94 in that they just removed the drop-off. So you can see the blue dot hidden behind there. It's basically the same drop-off as multiplayer. There's just only one. So you keep that damage profile all the way out. And the reason they did this probably is just because Warzone, you have a lot more health. So they wanted to make these guns a little bit better at longer ranges, probably to keep sniper rifles and things like that more balanced, I would guess. But they should have told us that they were doing this. It's just kind of wild that we've been basing all of our decisions off, multiplayer data this whole time rather than Warzone data, because we didn't even know there was Warzone data. So I don't know, but this video is going to really help clarify all this, and I'll continue to test in Warzone from here on out, just to make sure everything is right. So hopefully this will help things be a little more clear to everybody. All right, this is the M4A1. So again, orange is Kilo, pink is original multiplayer M4, and then blue is the profile we found in Warzone for the M4. So if I turn off bullet travel time, again, you can see it only has one drop. So this is a common theme you're going to see. Most of the weapons in Warzone only have one drop off, which makes their TTK at range much better than we thought. And the Kilo actually does have that final drop off, and I'm assuming that's what the tweet meant. I'm assuming when he said the Warzone specific damage profile buff was removed, this is exactly what he was talking about. They added this last drop off back in, and it used to just be this drop off all the way out, just like most of the other ARs. So that's my guess of what that tweet meant now that I've done more research into it. And this is one of the very few ARs, very few 5.56 ARs that has this last drop off. So I'm pretty confident that's what the tweet meant. All right, so again, common theme here. This is the M4 or the Ram 7, sorry. So Kilo's orange, Ram 7's pink, and then new Ram 7 with the Warzone damage profile is this cyan color. So again, it just matches the profile exactly, and then it just doesn't have that last drop off. So Ram kills way faster at range than everybody thought it did. And yeah, this video, because most of the guns do just only have the drop off removed, it doesn't completely change everything. But there are a few guns that get dramatically better, the AN-94 being one of them, the Bruin being one of them. M4, I think, is going to be much more viable at range than people thought. The Grau is going to be much better at range than people thought. So there's a few guns that it really does make a difference for, but in general, they just remove the last damage drop off from the guns. So I'll keep covering them just so you guys can see the profiles before we get them on the website. But in general, that's what they did, and overall, it doesn't change things too much, but it does absolutely make like 4 or 5 guns much more viable. And you'll see with the SMGs, there's some interesting stuff going on there too. So again, it's the same story here with the Grau. The pink line's the multiplayer Grau, which is what we assumed it was in Warzone as well. And then the cyan color is the Warzone profile for the Grau. So it just only has this one drop off, and then it just stays steady. So really, the Grau is quite a bit better than the Kilo at long range now. With the new Kilo nerf, that is. But obviously there's other good weapons too, so I'll keep covering the other ones and you can see. But yeah, they just removed that last damage profile from the Grau. Alright, so one of the biggest, most affected guns was the CR56. So normally the CR56 has 3 drop-offs. 1, 2, 3. The pink line, 3 drop-offs. But in Warzone, it only has 1, just like the 5.56 guns. So you get this insane TTK all the way out with the Amax. And if you put it on stomach, it gets a little bit worse, but it's still extremely good compared to like a Kilo or something. So if you can control the Amax, it is, I would say, the best, if not maybe top 2 or top 3 for weapons in Warzone. And people already knew this. I mean, everybody was running the Amax before this video, but this video really solidified. I was always looking at the data and how it felt to control, and I didn't really understand why it was so good originally. But now seeing this makes total sense. I mean, these TTKs are insane on chest and stomach, out at range, like under 600 milliseconds, out to infinity is crazy TTK. Obviously, you're not going to land all your shots, so it's not a real TTK, but just the fact that it has that potential, if you can land half your shots, it's going to kill super fast. All right, onto the LMGs. So this is the Bruin. Again, Bruin just only has 1 drop off, but it doesn't even affect TTK. So the TTK does not change because the shots to kill does not change, even with that 1 drop off. So the Bruin is still really good. I used this after I figured all this out a couple days ago. I streamed and I used the Bruin, and I was doing well even against DMRs with a long range Bruin. I used the 100 round mag instead of the 60 round mag, since the 60 round mag increases like the bounciness of the gun now, which you really don't want. So I used 100 round mag, commando foregrip, longest barrel, monolithic suppressor, tac laser, and an optic, I believe, and I had a blast. I was I was having tons of fun using that. So these guns are going to be really good, especially once the DMR gets nerfed. All right, so this is the Holger 26. So the Holger has that last drop off removed, just like the other 5.56 weapons. So now it kills way faster than the Kilo at range. The only issue with the Holger is just that you can't get that bullet velocity very high because it doesn't have a long barrel, and you can't extend the range very much because of that as well. So I don't know how that's going to fit in, but TTK wise, it's quite a bit better than the Kilo now out at range. So that's definitely something to consider. Same story for the M91. That last damage drop off was removed, so M91 kills super fast out at range now as well. I don't know how it compares to the Bruin, but it's probably pretty similar to the Bruin. They're just similar weapons in general. But yeah, M91, much better than we thought. It was already pretty good, actually. And TTKs were already good on it, but the Bruin was just better. But now it's even better than that, so we'll see. All right, so that gets through the ARs and the LMGs. Instead of going through all the SMGs, I'm just going to tell you what they do, and you can go check out the site for yourself. So literally every single SMG just has the last damage drop-off removed. So in this case for the P90, everything's exactly the same except right here where the P90 would jump up in multiplayer. You just remove that damage drop-off and just continue that line out. So you can look at the website and just literally in your head remove that last drop off and continue the line out, and you'll get what the TTK is in Warzone. And these will all be updated very soon on the site, hopefully in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. We're constantly cranking through stuff, so I'm not sure when I'm gonna get this done, but for now you can just pretend like that last drop off's removed, and you can see the P90 kills faster than the Kilo at range now, which is hilarious. It's still not going to be faster than the other ARs because the other ARs don't have this last drop off either. But then the Kilo, yeah, it is faster. So, like I said, I'm 95% sure that when they said they did the range specific, the Warzone specific nerf on the Kilo, that it was just removing this or adding this last drop off back in. Whereas before it was probably like the other ones, like the Grau and the M4, where it just only had one drop off. So this line would have continued out there. But we'll never know because I can't go back in time and test it. But yeah, that's a summary of what the SMGs do, and it's the same for literally every SMG. So yeah, you can check that out on the site. So now that we have all this information, once the DMR-14 gets nerfed, I want to talk a little bit about like hypothetical what's going to be the best AR, best automatic weapon once the DMR gets nerfed. Because right now I don't think anything really can touch the DMR. If you can start shooting first with like a Bruin or something, it's really hard to hit people with a DMR if you're getting shot. So I won a lot of fights with the Bruin. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. But anyway, looking at TTK, the Amax, of course, with chest shots is going to be the king in TTK. The problem with this Amax's TTK is that literally if you miss one chest shot, which is going to be basically 100% of the time, you're almost never going to hit 100% chest shots, then the TTK goes up by like 67 milliseconds or something like that. So that would take it up to like almost 0.55. So that would bring it up here and then bring it up in this area. So, I mean, this chest shot TTK is not really a good thing to go off of. If you look at stomach, this is more realistic. So pink line's the Amax there. But, I mean, hypothetically, the Grau is going to be really good. It's extremely accurate. It has a much better TTK than anyone thought it did. But it is lower. I mean, it does have a worse TTK than the other guns still. Because most of the guns actually do have this same Warzone specific profile where they only have one drop off. Something that's interesting to me, AN94 to me feels almost as accurate as a Grau. And now with this Warzone specific profile that we've found, this green line here is the AN94, and it has a really good TTK, really competitive TTK across the board. Stomach's a little worse, but it's still good. I mean, it's still pretty good. M4 has a really good TTK, has a great stomach TTK, and slightly worse than the A94, but quite a bit better than the Grau. Again, that's a hypothetical, so if you hit all your shots kind of thing, but the M4 is just a fantastic all-around gun, and this just makes it even better in my opinion, all these changes. The Bruin, with its open bolt delay, kind of sticks in the middle here at like 700 milliseconds of TTK, and it's across the board. It doesn't change because the shots to kill don't change. With the stomach shots, the Bruin still doesn't have a change in shots to kill. So it's just kind of consistent. It kills really fast at range. both chest and stomach, faster than everything except the Amax. So it ties the AN94 on stomach shots, or on chest shots, beats the AN94 on stomach shots, and the Amax comes pretty close to it there. It's still a little bit faster technically, but again, the Amax to me is nowhere near as accurate as the Bruin. So the Bruin, I think, is going to be definitely a top tier weapon. But these are the 5 that I would look out for in the coming new meta after the DMR gets changed and people understand these Warzone profiles exist. So yeah, this is what I think. I think Amax is going to be top tier. I think Bruin's going to be top tier. I think M4 is top tier. AN94 probably a little bit better than the Grau, but the Grau is going to be really good too. So I would say Amax maybe top number 1, Bruin number 2, M4 number 3, and then AN94 number 4 and Grau number 5, something like that. But it's just going to be interesting because now we're going to have so much more information and much more accurate information when we're building our guns. And I apologize that my information's been wrong on True Game Data. For the most part, proportionally they were correct, but there was a few like the Amax and the AN94 where they were dramatically different. So yeah, I apologize for that. There's no way I could have known that, and I should have just tested it a long time ago. But now we're gonna have the right values, so it should help even more with building guns. So we'll see. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you found the video informational and useful, and I hope you all have a good day. If you're a content creator and you're going to make a video about this, I'd really appreciate it if you would mention me. This stuff took forever to organize, the private lobby test and then actually verifying everything, so I'd really appreciate it if you mentioned me. But yeah, I hope you all have a good time in Warzone and DMR Zone and Diamati Zone. Hopefully they get nerfed soon and we can start using these other weapons, because I think this is going to be a good meta. I think this will be really fun, actually. We got a few weapons there that are all going to be viable for long range, and hopefully the DMR stays viable, just not brokenly good like it is right now. Those headshot damage values are just crazy on that thing. 175 to the head just is ridiculous. I don't know why they thought that was okay with a gun you could just spam, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later and see you in the next video.